Welcome back to Mansions of Madness. We're playing Blood Ties. It's the third scenario of the base game. We're about to begin turn 2. And I'm going to start off with, the investigators go first, so I'm going to start off with Sister Mary. She's in a mess here with a cultist who attacked her last turn. She is going to take an action, and she's going to try throwing the holy water onto the cultist once again and see if she can incapacitate him. So her luck is 4. She has to make a luck roll +1. So she needs a 5 or less, and she gets a 4. So that is enough to splash the cultist with holy water. And what that does is that is going to stun him. Which means he cannot move or attack. And so that's her first action. So this time she's a little more calm and she ends up splashing with the holy water. All right, now she has 2 move actions. So she's actually going to move 1 space here. Now she doesn't need to evade him because he is now stunned. So he cannot move or attack. So he wouldn't be able to attack her if she's evading him. So she's going to take 1 move and she's going to take a second move and she's going to run into the house. Try and get away from that cultist. And of course, the second she does that, she goes into that house. The keeper is going to play a mythos card, and this mythos card says confinement, and it says requirement: any room that has only 1 space. Well, that room has 1 space, so she must test willpower, and if she fails, she's going to take 1 horror. So she's having a bad time. So she's going to test her willpower, which is 7. So let's see if she can get a 7 or less. She gets a 9. Oh, that is not good. So with a 9, she will take a horror. Another horror token. So now she has 2 horror. She has a sanity of 12. So now her sanity is now down to 10. All right. So that is Sister Mary's turn. So she managed to splash the cultist with holy water, stunning him, and she ran into the house. But she's horrified by the confinement. I guess she's having a rough time here at the beginning of the game. Now we have Joe Diamond, and he's over here. And he saw Sister Mary run into the house, so he knows that she's temporarily safe, and he sees the stunned cultist in the way. So he is going to take his action. He knew there's something has come up here in the northeast, some scream. So he's also going to go into the building. So he is going to try to enter this building. There's a lock symbol here. So the second he moves in here, we must look at the lock symbol and see what it is. And what it is, it's a ruin-locked door. And it says, an ancient painting sits in front of the locked door. The door is locked. Solve ruin puzzle number 7 to discard this card. So basically, for him to enter this building, he is at the door. He's encountered a lock. So it's his first move action. So I'm going to have to set up a puzzle here. And he is going to have to try to solve the puzzle. And he solves the puzzle by using his intellect. So he gets a number of moves in the puzzle to try to solve it equal to his intellect, which is 6. So let me get the puzzle set up, and we'll see if Joe can unscramble it and get in through that locked door. Alright, so here we have the puzzle. I've just randomly laid out the pieces. Joe Diamond has an intellect of 6, which means he is going to be able to make 6 moves to try and solve this puzzle. So the first thing, I'm going to move these 2, so that's 1 move. And we'll go 2 moves. And 3 moves. It's only a 6-piece puzzle. It's not so bad. And, well, 4 moves. All right. Not all that difficult. So Joe basically, under 6 moves, has solved the picture puzzle, which will unlock the door. So let's go back to the map and continue. So, of course, as Joe was working out that puzzle in front of the door to try and get in, the keeper was busy doing evil keeper things. So he's going to play another mythos card, and this says requirement: yard, patio, garden, or path. Well, this is the front path that Joe is on. Now this is a 0-cost card for the keeper, And it says, the sky above you becomes blood red. You are bathed in the same crimson light, though whether the sun nor the moon is visible. Though neither the sun or moon are visible. The keeper may either gain 3 threat or immediately perform 1 keeper action. Well, the keeper likes threat, so he's going to grab 3 more threat by playing that card. Okay, that's good stuff. All right, so now Joe, having solved the puzzle here of the ruin-locked door, is now able, that's 1 move action. So by solving the locked door puzzle, he has now completed his move action. So he still has 1 more move action. He also has an investigate action, or explore. So he's going to explore this room. So with an explore action, we look at the top card. Oh, and we find, looks like he's found the first clue, blood ties. As you enter the porch, a putrid stench overwhelms you. Lying on the floor is a construction worker, clutching a crowbar in his dead hands. He must have been working on the sewer in the far east corner of the yard. The keeper places a corpse marker in this room. Well, now we know where the blood-curdling scream came from. And of course, lying on the floor is indeed the crowbar. And it's a blunt melee weapon. So we're going to add that to Joe's stash. So now Joe has his 45 automatics, a crowbar, but we need to add another corpse marker into this room. So there's the dead construction worker with his crowbar on the floor Joe is looking at. Now, what is Joe going to do? Joe has 1 more move action. And not liking the situation in the front porch, I think he is actually going to move outside again. So his 1 move action, unlocking the door, his investigate, finding the clue, the first clue, and moving back out into the yard. All right, that's basically it. And of course, the clue on the card itself says that he must have been working on the sewer in the front east corner of the yard. Well, the farthest east corner of the yard is over here, so that's, I think, where our next clue might be headed. All right, that is the investigators' turns. Now it is time for the keeper to go. So let's go over to keeper actions and see what he's going to do. Okay, so here we are at the keeper area. And the first thing that happens on the keeper step is the investigators, if they're in the same space, can freely exchange items, but Sister Mary and Joe Diamond are not in the same space, so we will skip that. The next is gaining threat. And there are 2 investigators in the game, so the keeper gets 2 more threat. And as you can see now, he's got quite a nice pile of 6 threat tokens. And now it's time for the keeper action. So he's going to start spending his threat tokens. All right, first thing he's going to do is he's going to spend 2 on Raise the Dead. And it says pay 2 threat to discard a corpse marker and place a zombie in its space. Well, there was a corpse marker that we put in the crypt long ago. So that is going to be replaced with one of these lovely guys, a zombie. So out comes a zombie in the crypt area of the board. And because we can just never have enough zombies, I'm going to spend 2 more threat tokens. And the newly discovered corpse of the construction worker in the front porch is also going to be turning now into a zombie. So out he's going to come onto the board, and we'll put him in the front porch. That's just where Joe Diamond got his crowbar moments ago. So that is another zombie coming out to the board, and I am going to spend 1 more threat token to take 1 more trauma card and 1 more mythos card. So again, we'll look at those in a while and decide what we want to do with it. All right, I think that is going to end the keeper. Well, maybe not. Let's go back to the board. I think the keeper's got 1 threat left. I think he's going to play Creature of the Night, which he can play once on his turn, which means every monster gets to move 1 space. So I'm going to go ahead and spend his last threat to do that. So let's go back to the board and see what happens. All right, so here we are back at the board. Joe Diamond, having retrieved the crowbar from the dead construction worker. The dead construction worker rises from the dead and moves one space right outside to join Joe Diamond. Now, the cultist was stunned, so during the monster movement phase, the stun token comes off, and he basically can't do anything. So he was nullified by Sister Mary's holy water. And one thing down here, we do have the zombie that has appeared in the crypt, and he's going to take one step into this cave. All right, so what's happening up here? Well, now that we've done all the actions for the keeper, it is time now for the monster attack step. And of course, the zombie going to be attacking Joe Diamond. So let's see if we can find a monster attack card, and we do. So we take the humanoid card deck, which is this one, and we find at the bottom is, let's say, monster attack. The enemy tries to pin you to the floor, well, to the ground, I guess, in this instance. Test your strength. So Joe Diamond's strength is 5. All right, 50-50 chance. Let's see if he can pass. 5 or less, he rolls a 1. No problem. This is a weak zombie, or Joe Diamond just found some strength. It says a pass. You elbow your opponent in the lungs. Stun the monster. Oh, excellent. So I guess the zombie that just newly revived, Joe Diamond elbows him hard one and ends up stunning him. So we'll stick the stun token on the zombie. So here we go. So this zombie has been stunned. All right. Okay, that is the end of the monster attack step. There are no other monsters in spaces with the investigators, and now we're on to the event step. So what we do is we take one more token and we place it on the event card. And indeed, there are now 2 timer tokens on the event card. The event card has a 2 on it, which means we flip it over and we resolve it. So what do we have? We have a bargain for blood ties. An alien voice cuts through the air. Hello, precious one. Your uncle and I have a bargain, a pact, you see. Will you abide it? The blood relative, which is Joe Diamond, must choose one of the following. He either will take 1 horror, then gain a soul pact or blood pact spell card, or his other choice is we place Amigo in his space. Oh man, there's enough monsters on the board. I think he's going to go ahead. He's going to take 1 horror, and he will gain a soul pact spell. So he's going to take 1 horror, and he gets a soul pact spell. And this one is choose investigator in the room to heal a horror, then test lore and flip this card over and resolve the effect. So Joe Diamond now has a spell from an unholy pact by the sound of it, but he does have to take a horror token as well. So he has a sanity of 8. He is now down to a sanity of 7. And let me see if there's anything the keeper wants to do immediately, and I don't think he's going to bother. All right, so that is basically the end of the keeper turn. We're going to start working on the next timer card, which is the second phase, and it only has a 2 on it. So there will be 2 timer tokens going on that. We have a stunned zombie now. Sister Mary's hiding in the building after she splashed the cultist. That was the end of turn 2. Please join me next time when Joe Diamond and Sister Mary try to uncover yet more of the secrets of the crazy uncle's mansion here. All right, thanks for watching, and join me next time for turn 3.